Hello everybody, this is Daniel from fitnessblender.com, here to take you through another workout. Today we're going to be going through a kettlebell training style. So with this one, it is going to be a little bit more for intermediate to advanced kettlebell users, but if you're new to kettlebell, just make sure you pick a really nice lightweight and really watch your form. Should be fine for you as well. Now how we're going to be doing this is we are doing sort of an AB style of two different exercises. We're going to be working back and forth between. Some of these exercises are going to be left side, right side. So the first round's going to be left side, second round's going to be right side or vice versa. And then some of these exercises are just going to be straight alternating. So we're going to be doing the same thing 2 times through. So each one's going to be a little bit different and I'll explain them as we get through. But what we're going to be doing is 45 seconds on for each exercise and 15 seconds of rest and prep for that next exercise. So that's not a whole lot of time to rest, but we're going to go through this really nice and quick. We've got 5 different groups to go through, and we don't have any extra rest between those groups, so we're going to be moving through this really nice and fast. But before we go through that, we need to make sure we get in our warm-up. So let's go ahead and do that. Our warm-up's going to be just around 5 minutes long. We're going to be trying to get pretty much everything through the entire body. This kettlebell routine is going to hit pretty much everything, so we want to make sure we get everything warmed up before we start in. So let me go ahead and get my timer started here. We're going to be doing right around 30 seconds per exercise, per stretch. So let's go ahead and get started. Our first one, just going to be a nice slow rotation around those shoulders. Try to get that shoulder socket warmed up. So nice big circle, pause the bottom, back around the opposite direction. Down and pause, and back again. Just keep it going, really try to stretch through that shoulder, trying to get as much range of motion out of it as you can. At the same time, it's starting to contract those muscles nice and tight, forcing some blood to start flowing through those arms, that shoulder joint, and that chest. Just a few more seconds, and we're going to switch over, do the same thing on the other side. And go ahead and switch. Nice big circle again, pause at the bottom, and switch it back around. Keep all those muscles through your legs and your core nice and tight. Start warming those muscles up as well. A little bit of a bend in that knee. Don't lock your knees out. Nice slow range of motion. Really push that range of motion. Try to get that arm as close to your chest as you can in the front and stretch back behind you as far as you can in the back. So let's start working on that torso next. So we're going to do a nice rotation. Try to keep those hips facing forward. Rotate to the left as far as you can. Then back off to the right. So you want to feel like you're actually trying to shove your hip in the opposite direction you're rotating. Nice tight squeeze on each side. Again, keep that chest contracted. Keep that upper back contracted. Arms contracted. A little bit of a bend in those knees. Keep those legs contracted. Make sure all those muscles are having to do at least a little bit of work to help you start pushing that blood around. And warm up. All right, go ahead and let that relax. We're going to start working into those hips a little bit. So flat back, lock that rib cage to those hips, straight down in front, off to the side, back behind, back down, pause at the bottom, and reverse directions. A little bit of stretch to that hamstring as well. And let that relax. Next one's gonna be down into a lunge. So you're gonna drop down into that lunge, hold back leg, stay straight, you go down onto that front leg and stretch it up. Back down onto that front leg and stretch it up. Just alternating back and forth between these two positions. Try to stretch that chest and arms back as far as you can. And switch sides. Same exact thing, start down on that leg. In that lunge position, rear leg straight, stretch it back. Those legs should be starting to warm up from having to hold this position. You should be stretching that chest out, warming up that torso as well. That lower back. And go ahead and let it relax. We're going to do just a traditional squat, no weight. Feet just about hip width apart or shoulder width apart. Just drop it down nice and low and right back up. Try to keep that back nice and flat even though you're not using any weight for this one. And it's okay to let that back round if you're not using any weight. You still want to make sure you practice clean form. So flat back, straight line from shoulder to hip socket, making sure you're getting a really nice deep squat, mimicking the angle of your chest and chin. And go ahead and let that one relax. We're gonna get a little bit more of a rotation, so we're gonna squat and rotate and up. Rotate. Get a little bit more motion in those hips. Do the same thing on the other side for our next round. Remember, keep those arms contracted as well. Same thing on the other side. Start up, rotated, down, and up. Feet just a little wider than shoulder width apart to get a nice deep squat out of this. Tight, tight squeeze that torso on the bottom and the top. Again, keep that chest and those arms contracted. Make sure they're warming up as well. And let it relax. We're going into a traditional jumping jack. Keep those arms rigid, keep those legs rigid. Move it nice and quick. Speed it up as you get further into this if you still feel like you're a little cold. Otherwise, push it as fast as you can, trying to make sure you're ready for those exercises, and we're done. Almost there, a few more seconds. And let it relax. All right, that was the end of our warm-up. So let's go ahead and get ready to start into the regular routine. Now for this portion of the workout, like I said, we're doing an AB format. We're going to be doing 45 seconds per exercise with a 15-second break/rest to get ready for that next exercise. So we're going to be going back and forth between these first two exercises twice, and we're moving on to the next group after that without any extra break. So let's go ahead and get this timer started here. Our first exercise is going to be a squat and press. So go ahead and rack that kettlebell. You want it up at that shoulder. I'm using 30 pounds for this one, but use whatever is comfortable. Squat down and press it over your shoulder at the top. Squat and press. Use a little bit of momentum to help you get that press up there, but primarily it's just focusing on a nice, smooth, clean motion. Nice deep squat if you can. As low as is comfortable on those knees and those hips, as long as you keep that back flat. Just keep those lungs open. Got about 10 seconds left of this one. Then we got a 15-second break to get ready for our next exercise, which is going to be a figure 8 curl. And go ahead and let it relax. I'm going to switch my weight here. Moving off to 20 pounds for our figure 8 curl. And start up. Through those legs, grab behind, up, pause in front of your chest. Swing between those legs, back up, pause in front of your chest. Just make sure you're keeping that back flat. You don't want to round your back to get that kettlebell underneath. You just want to do a little bit more of a squat. Keep that motion going, keep those lungs open, as quick as is comfortable. There's less of a curl, more of a nice quick motion with momentum. And let that one relax, switch that weight back to where you were. We're going to be doing that squat and press again, this time on the opposite side. Let's get that kettlebell ready and start a nice deep squat and press. Keep that back flat, lungs open. Weight more in your heels than in your toes, but pretty much evenly dispersed between your heel and your toe. If anything, back more in your heel. Just keep that back flat, keep those lungs open. Almost done. And let it relax. Go ahead and switch back again. I'm going to use a little extra weight this time, going to 25 pounds on this one. So same exact exercise, doing that figure 8 curl. And start up. Bring it up and curl between those legs, around the outside. Keep that back flat. Really concentrate on pressing that chest forward towards the wall in front of you, rather than letting it tilt down towards the ground. And that'll help you keep that back flat. Almost done. And let it relax. That's the end of those two. We're moving on to our next two exercises, which is going to be a single arm swing for our first one. So I'm going to be using 30 pounds in this one. And start up. Nice quick motion with those hips, kind of snapping those hips forward, snapping those legs to get that momentum into that kettlebell, to swing it up to shoulder height. If you want to go a little bit higher, that's fine, but make sure you can control it. The higher you go, the harder it gets to control. Nice full deep breaths. Keep those lungs open, keep that back flat. And let that one relax. Our next exercise is going to be a kettlebell row. Let me drop the weight on this just a little bit. Let's see, let's drop it down. Try 25 for the first round. I might need to drop on this. So 1 foot forward, leaning forward, but don't put your weight on it with your chest. You want to keep your chest about a 45. Rowing that kettlebell up to your side. So kind of keeping a little bit, about a quarter lunge or a half lunge the entire time. Nice flat back. Make sure you're not bracing yourself with that other hand. That other hand's gonna be out away from your body. Just keep it going. Almost done. And let that one relax. Switch it back. Got another round, that single arm swing. This time on the other side. And start up. Try to keep those shoulders relatively square. Your body's going to try to rotate, but try to keep them straight parallel with the wall in front of you. Don't rotate your shoulders, letting the weight pull your shoulder forward. You want to keep everything nice and solid. Nice quick snap with those hips. Shooting that momentum into that kettlebell. Swinging that kettlebell up nice and high. Almost done. And let it relax. All right, dropping back down again. Same amount of weight as you did on the other side, just switching sides. Bend over about 45 and row that kettlebell up. I know those legs are probably nice and tired by this point. Just keep pushing through it because they're going to get a lot more tired. Keep those lungs open, flat back. Don't rotate those shoulders. Keep them flat down to the ground. Almost done. 5 more seconds. Wow. And let it relax. Drop that that kettlebell down. We got 2 more exercises. We're doing a lunge pass and a squat with a side leg raise. So lunge pass first, doing sort of 16 pounds, so a little bit lighter. Grab it just like this, step out in front, arms come out, back out, other foot. So you're alternating that lunge, that kettlebell comes straight out in front of your body every single time. Don't start that motion with your arms until you're all the way out in that lunge. Just keep it going. Keep those lungs open. Back nice and straight up and down. And let that one relax. All right, I'm gonna get a little extra weight here. We're doing a squat with a side leg raise. So we're gonna switch over to a goblet hold. And squat down nice and low. And you come up, one leg and only one leg. So come up and out to the side. Keep that torso straight up and down. Keep those lungs open. Breathing normally. Weight back in your heels. Make sure you're not leaning forward onto those toes. This is our 3rd set of exercises. We've got 2 more groups to go after this. And let it relax. All right. Back to that lunge. Drop that weight just a little bit. And do it over the other side so you can see a little bit of a difference. Holding it upside down. Step forward. Out and back. So you can hold this upside down if you want to in that goblet stance. Or you can just hang it just like this. It doesn't really matter, whatever is more comfortable. The goblet hold is just a little bit harder because that center of gravity is going to be higher. Makes those hands have to work harder. Main thing though is just keep those lungs open. Nice full extension on those arms. And let that one relax. All right, switching back over again. All right, doing one more. That squat with a leg raise. Upside down, nice deep squat. Opposite leg comes up. Keep those lungs open. Breathe as deeply as you can. Try to recover as best as you can. Torso straight up and down, try not to lean. So our last one of these, we've got 2 more exercises coming up for the next group. And let it relax. Whew. Drop that kettlebell for just a second. I'm dropping that weight for our next one, which is going to be a halo. So up over your head. I'm gonna grab that upside down in that goblet position. Up over your head. Pause. Back around the other side. I'm gonna be alternating this one back and forth. Nice slow range of motion. Keep those arms tight to those ears. Rubbing your head kind of with that bicep as you go around. Just make sure that kettlebell doesn't touch your shoulders. You want to keep that hovering the entire time. Nice deep breaths. Try to recover. Almost done. And let that relax. All right, moving on to our next. This one is going to be a curtsy lunge. I'm using about the same amount of weight here. It's gonna be a little bit difficult. So you're holding that kettlebell in a full extension above your head the entire time. You're gonna step back, across behind you, and back up. Same leg over and over. So you can see I'm kind of pointed at 45, but my feet look like they're going in a straight line away from the camera, perpendicular to the camera. So you want to step behind you pretty far with that rear leg. This one puts a lot of pressure on those knees, a lot of lateral motion on those knees. So if you have weak knees, just do a traditional lunge. Otherwise, it's actually really good for strengthening those knees up. And let that relax. Drop that kettlebell. Going back to that halo for our next one. Grab that kettlebell, flip it upside down, that goblet position. And start it. Round your head, pause in front, back around. Keep those lungs open. Breathing normally, knees slightly bent. Remember, arms brushing that head, keep them as close as you can. You don't want to let those elbows kick out wide. Nice big full breaths. This one's not as hard as the other, so try to let this one be your recovery. 10 seconds left. And let it relax. All right, we got one more of those curtsy lunges with your hand extended, just using the opposite arm this time. So go ahead and get ready. Hand up over your head. And step back. Keep those lungs open. The longer the step you take, the harder it's going to be. The more torque it's going to put on those knees and hips. So if you have bad knees or hips, start with a very small range of motion. You can always build up later. Keep that arm extended straight. Almost done. We got about 10 seconds left to go. Just keep moving. And let it relax. All right, that was the end of that group. We have one more group to go. We're gonna be doing a kettlebell chop. So it's gonna be coming across your body. I'm gonna stay right where I am with weight. Holding overhand. You squat down to one foot, up across the other side, back down that same foot. Doing just one side, over and over. Full extension on those arms stay straight. Keep those hips relatively straight forward, rotating those shoulders only. Just keep it going. Almost done. And let it relax. I'm going to increase the weight just a little bit. We've got a full swing. We go up to 30 pounds. We've got a full swing with both hands. Hands start up. Nice quick snap with those hips, just like we did for the single hand. This one, just want to be careful. Keep your back flat. Don't let your shoulders round forward. Don't let that lower back round. You want to constantly be feeling like you're trying to arch backwards. Keeping that back nice and flat. Quick snap with those hips. Getting that kettlebell as high as you want, but try to aim for at least about shoulder height. Almost done. And let it relax. All right, back to the chop. We're grabbing over top, starting off that opposite foot. Squat down, and up and across the other side. Rotate those shoulders. Go ahead and turn sideways here so you can see what I'm doing a little more. Flat back. Keep those lungs open. Almost done. 5 seconds left. And let that one relax. Whew, bump that weight back up. Back up to 30 pounds for full swing. And start up. This is our last exercise, so push through it. Make sure everything's nice and tight at the end. Quick snap, keep that back flat. Never hold your breath. Almost done. And let it relax. Whew. All right, drop that kettlebell down. The main workout portion of this is done. We still have our cool down to go. So keep those lungs open, keep breathing normally. We're just gonna do this freestyle. So those shoulders are probably a little bit tight. That lower back and core is probably tight. Those legs are probably tired. So let's go ahead and get started. Arm across in front of your chest, pull across. Squeeze that arm up towards your neck as tight as you can. Keep breathing as deeply as possible. Pull that elbow across. Should feel this across your shoulder blade, across that upper back. And switch sides. Grab that elbow again, pull across. Again, should be feeling this across that shoulder blade of the upper back area, just on this side this time. And let that one relax. Hand towards your shoulder, bring that elbow over your head, and squeeze across as far as is comfortable. Trying to pull that arm back and across to open up that shoulder socket. Keep those lungs open. It's a good idea to keep those feet moving as well. Just don't lock your knees out when you're standing here stretching, because if you do, that blood's going to start to pool in those legs. You're going to start getting lightheaded and possibly even pass out. So make sure those knees stay bent. And just shuffling your feet back and forth is a good way to do that. Just continue reaching back towards that shoulder. Elbow pulling back and across. Nice full big deep breaths. And let it relax. All right, we're going to start with that back first. So feet, so shoulder width apart. A little bit of bend in those knees. We're not going for those hamstrings yet. Round those shoulders over forward. Whew. You can tell my muscles are getting tired. They're starting to shudder on me. So round those shoulders over. Round that back out as much as you can. And let that one relax. We're going to do a right over left. So left leg locks out, right leg's over top. You can go straight down on that left leg. Try and keep that left leg nice and straight. Stretching out towards that toe again, keeping those lungs open. And switch sides. Down. Keep that right leg straight. Again, keep those lungs open, just breathing normally. And let that one relax. Go and stand back up. We're going to do a quad stretch next. So pulling that heel to your butt. If you need to grab onto the back of a chair or lean up against a wall, that's perfectly fine. If you can, just do it with your own balance. So heel to butt, squeezing in as close as comfortable for that knee. Bring that knee back behind you, kind of squeezing that glute and hamstring, pulling that knee back, stretching it back, and keeping that torso straight up and down. So breathe normally. You should feel it through the front of your thigh. You got quadricep, maybe even a little bit into that front of that hip and lower abdominal muscles as you lean back. And switch sides, same thing on the other side. So heel to butt, pull that knee back, chest straight up and tall, and lean back. Keep those lungs open. And let that relax. Go ahead and sit down on the ground. We're going to do a deep glute stretch. So pulling that one leg over top, pulling that thigh back towards you as close as comfortable. You should be feeling a stretch on that opposite leg, that glute, that opposite leg, the one you have crossed over top. Just squeeze it in as close as you can, as close as is comfortable. Switch sides. Same thing on the other side, pull it in. And let that relax. Over onto your stomach. This is our last one. Hands down by the base of your rib cage. Arch it up nice and high. If you can't lock those elbows out all the way, that's perfectly fine. Just push up as high as you can, high as is comfortable. Keep those lungs open. And let it relax. All right, good job. We got through that whole routine. And I don't know about you, but I'm feeling pretty wiped out. If you want to do it again, go for it. If you still have a little bit left, find another routine to go through. Otherwise, this workout is complete. Good job, guys. See you next time.